Coming up on the next episode. Good afternoon on this Friday YouTube. It is 4:55 now in the PM. I have been taking a break since this afternoon. I was working on this earlier, I should say, this afternoon, and I have discovered several things, some good, some not so good. First thing I'm going to cover is this piece here. You can see there's hole here, hole here, hole here. There is a shield that goes in there. It's a metal shield, and I'm sure it has something to do between the RF section and the IF section. This wire here goes underneath that and connects to the center conductor of the coax, connects here to this terminal here where the capacitor is connected, and the other place that it connects to is not shown there. I think maybe it's this piece. Oh yeah, it's this one here, back here. Whichever one of these that goes to ground, I can't see it right now. I believe there's one of them that is connected to ground. Maybe it's this one here. But anyway, the ground part of that goes there, and that's where that goes. Now on this, these sections here, this I believe goes 1, 2, 4, 3. I think is how that goes. I'll flash up. Let me get that up on the screen so I can see what I'm talking about here. Alright, I have it up on the screen now in front of me so I can see what I'm talking about. This is actually numbered 1, 3, 2, 4. No, I take that back. It's, like I said before, it's 1, 2, 4, 3. So that's the way that's numbered on the layout there, as you can look at it. I'll flash that up on the thing. But yeah, that's how that's done. So, anyway, on the 2 and the 4, these two in the middle here is the ones that get the resistors, and I do have those ordered, by the way. They should be in here not too long. I got 10 of them for, I think, $2.99, something like that. But anyway, and they are 1 watt, 1% precision type resistors. So those two connections there are, this is a dual triode in this for this RF amp and oscillator inside of this cage here. And so one goes to the plate of the oscillator and one goes to the plate of the RF amp. So obviously one or the other wasn't working. Now I was able to tune stations with this. I went back and watched, that was another thing I did, went back and watched my original troubleshooting on this, and I was able to tune across the band. So apparently this one, the one that's on the oscillator is the one that was working. The RF amp must have been not working, so I'm assuming that's the way it was, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Now this other pin, this pin 3 here, which may or may not have been there. It doesn't look like it's on there because this one goes here, but this is a ground, and it just basically runs over to here, from here to here, and that's all it does. Now, it really is not necessary as long as this is grounded, either by these screws here or this coming over here and being grounded here to this. It's a ground there, and that would do the same thing. So it's not necessary, but I am going to put that back because it was originally called for. So I'm going to do that. My biggest concern right now is getting the shield that goes in there. I want to find that. That's not a big deal right now as far as this part of it's concerned, because I can still do all this work. I can do everything except for add the resistors back in. The rest of the stuff I can do. That goes here. And that comes from, and I forget now where it comes from, but it comes from somewhere over there, but it does go there. You can see it on the pictorial diagram. And so that's got to be added, and I'll go ahead and add a wire from here to here, and that'll be my ground. And I can go ahead and even solder this in, actually, because that shield has a U-shaped channel there that actually goes in like that. So it's not really necessary that it has to go through anything like that. So it just covers it up, or goes on top of it, I guess is what you'd say. And also I can tighten these up, because like you can see that I'm turning it. That's not really tight. So tighten those up, get this in, get these, the two that I can do, and leave these two alone for right now. And again, they both go right to the same spot here, so they'll be easy enough to put in once I get the resistors in. So that I'm kind of wanting to get this part done underneath here, so I can get onto the top side and start figuring out the pointer and things like that. So that's what I want to do. So let me turn this off for now, and we will do that and get back with you in a little bit after and show you what we got going. So all right, back once again. It is 6:22, or I'm sorry, 5:22. I can't see them. I've got my up close glasses on. This is the wire I told you that I was going to solder on there, and I did. This is that ground wire I told you I was going to run over to here, and I did. Let's get you down just a little bit. You can see that. Okay. So that's grounded. This is tightened up now. I've got this tightened up. Also, I went ahead and did this wire while we were at it. This is the inner conductor here. This is the shield itself, hooked up to the ground here. And once we find our little shield, metal shield that goes around this section here, I can go ahead and put that, like I said, there's a U-shaped channel that fits in, and that's done good. Up here, we've got the antenna connection here. Now, I only had one screw for some reason. I don't know if that was just the way it was or what. I don't remember. But I do have one screw in, and I'll find another one to put in there. It's not a big deal. I'll show you what it looks like on the other side. As you can see, it is soldered in there as well. And so that takes care of the RF, except for the two resistors. That's the only thing we're missing on that part of it. So again, I can go ahead and start doing it. I think, and I'm not totally sure, but I think that shield may fit around this one here, but if so, we can take that off and get that around there like it's supposed to be done. That's no problem. So really no reason to take this off anymore. And so that's that. Like I say, that's where I'm at right now. It's getting close to supper time here, so I fixed a tuna casserole the other day. I've been eating on it for the last couple of days, so I enjoy good tuna casserole now and then. Now I made mine this time with elbow macaroni instead of noodles, just for being different. I do that sometimes with when I make tuna casserole. It's all pasta. It's not a big deal. But the elbow macaronis are a little bit easier to manage, I find anyway. So that's it. So I did get a confirmation that my resistors at least have a tracking number. That's about how they do that. I think in order to get paid on YouTube, they have to do that. At least get a tracking number and get it ready for shipment or whatever. And I think that's the way it works before they can actually get paid. So anywho, so they have to spend the money on the postage, I guess, to get the tracking number, and I guess once they do that, might as well take it to the post office, you know, whatever. Some of them take a little longer than others to get there, but yeah, they eventually get there. So I had a chance of buying these from California or Oklahoma, and to tell you the truth, I've had better luck getting things quicker from California than I have Midwest. So I think the one in Oklahoma was the $345 instead of $299, so it's a little bit more, but I was willing to pay it if I thought it would get here quicker. But I think we'll try it and see. Anywho, that's what we're going to do. So that's going to do me for right now. I'm going to have supper, and if I feel like it, I'll come back and do more. I want to play around with these knobs and things. Also, I want to look for the shield. Now, I have looked in the other box, but I didn't look closely. I've got another box with the HFT-94 in it, the AM version of this tuner. And I found a lot of things in here that are related to it. So I'm thinking probably some of the parts for this are in that box. So I'm hoping that's the case anyway. And there's also some case pieces, and when I say case pieces, I'm talking about the brown and the brass colored stuff that goes on the outside of this. Those are all around somewhere, and I've got to find those, and that may be in with there also, or instead. I don't know, but that's what we're going to try to find out. So join me for that later. Good afternoon, YouTube. It is a Monday now. What you see in front of you on the bench. Oh, by the way, it's 5:15 now in the PM. Almost evening, but not quite. Still sunny outside. The object on the bench is the Eico HFT-90 FM tuner, which you are aware of. We are working on. And I was just doing an update on the computer. I just happened to notice it was having an update ready to go. This is how this goes. I just wanted to put it on there. It's not going to stay there for now. I just wanted to make sure I got it on. These so the screws themselves can stay on. We'll look at the side view here real quick, and you can see, I think, basically there's a screw, washer, and a nut, and that holds this black face, back pane or back face or whatever you want to call this. That the what do you call it? Sits against. It doesn't really ride against it, but this is our needle pointer. You can see it moves up and down the slider scale there, and I think you can see. Let me turn a little bit more. I think you can see that tube socket down there, and the tube sits in that, and that indicates your obviously your station and a frequency, whatever you want to call it. But there you go. That's that. And like I say, I just put a couple nuts on this one just to hold it on there to show you. This one I am missing the original one of these. This one here is one that was in with the kit, but it's not the original one. Somebody has made one up, and it's not quite long as these. I put a nut behind it to make it come out close, and so that's what I've done there. I could probably shim it a little bit better than that with just a couple of washers, or maybe even one washer. But I'll finalize that. Get some kind of a measurement between here and there and see what it comes out to be. So that's what I've got to do there. Now I don't remember where I left off really on this, but there is the cap, or what do you want to call it, on the transformer end cap. That's on there good and solid now. I noticed when I was looking at the instructions, because I've been looking at those, this was never put on correctly from the get-go, because there's supposed to be a bolt goes all the way through down to a nut on the bottom of this transformer, and then it goes through the chassis. Well, that nut is not there. Now, it doesn't obviously affect it very much. Maybe the guy just figured it's not necessary, so he didn't put it in. But whatever the case is, that's the way that's supposed to work. And that is together now. And like I said, I've got the shaft for the tuning wheel thing that makes the dial move. This one here, it's got to go in here. I want to put a little grease on it before I put it in for last time. I've got a little clip on there now. That was in the and I didn't really know where it went, and I thought, well, that must go there, and I think it does. I think it just keeps that from going in all the way. Of course, the flywheel on the back would not let it go any further, but this does a little bit better job of it, I think. So I'll keep that on there unless I find it for something else. But I'll put some grease on this part here, and that will be a little bit smoother, and then I'll sit my flywheel back on it. I have to do the wiring first, not wiring, but dial string first, and it's really not that bad on this one. Basically, you start over here at this end, put your spring on here, and basically attach the spring to this stud here, loop it down to this next one down here. Of course, now your slider is not going to be hooked up right away, but and basically it goes down from there, goes around this tuning shaft 3 times clockwise, I think it said, and then it comes back here to this. Goes around here, it goes this around this 1.5 turns, comes back to here, and then back over to this pulley here, and that's where it gets tied on to the end of the spring. Now, I have no problem doing that, but they say they want a certain tension on the spring, obviously, and that might be a little problem. But you know, I think I can get it going. Also, it needs to be a certain amount from this here. I think the spring will sit here basically, and when the pointer right down there, the spring will just go along with it, obviously, and it will stay in one place. So I think that's the way that's going to work. And so I haven't actually tackled that yet, but I will. A little worried about this wiring here. It might get in the way of that string, but I can always flip that around if I need to. Now I do notice that this is not long enough when compared to this one here, you can see. But I think I'm going to make one of my plastic extensions that I talked about making for somebody else. I can't remember who it was, but basically just fits over the end of this and extends your shaft however much you need it to, and that way it will work just the same, and that way I don't have to worry about extensions or anything like that. Just slide it on there and it's ready to go. So that's that on that. Now underneath, again, I don't know if I showed this already. If I do, I apologize. Let's see, this is this end. Let me get this up here on this end here. Yeah. Now this is the shield that I could not find the other day. I did find it, obviously. And you can see the cable, the RF cable coming from the RF assembly here. Goes through that opening there. There's a little U-shaped opening. And goes into where it connects to. It's already connected. I knew I could put that on there without doing that, so I went ahead and connected it. This is screwed in. There's one screw that holds it in the back. One of the screws that basically holds this end piece for the antenna terminals, and that holds that on with a nut. And basically there's slots, little cutout slots in the top, and tabs that fit into it, and it won't go anywhere that way, and is in there good. So happy about that. So I noticed the resistors. I don't know if they've shipped yet or not, but as of this morning they have not. So hopefully they'll get in the mail here soon, and we'll get those. In the meantime, I did get some items in the mail today, and I'll flash up a picture of those. You can see there on the right hand side, that is a bag from Tata Electronics, and that is the parts for my 30-watt amplifier project. Resistors, things like that, capacitors that I didn't have, and I went ahead and bought those as well. I'd already bought the transistors for that at Tata and got that order in a week or so ago, and so got that. And then in the middle, if I'm recalling, let me look at the picture because I've forgot what was in the middle. The battery holders, that's what it is. That's the 14500 battery holders that I said I thought I ordered, and I finally did order them. They came out of China. Got here pretty quick. I wasn't disappointed with how quick they got here. 4 of them, and of course now we're not using those with that Probe ST, but whatever. I'll have them if I need them, and like I said, that's a good thing to have on hand. The other item on the far left is the pots for the BDST. There's 10 of them in there. As I said many times before, I want to get 10 of these kits ready to go, and I'm waiting now on the package from Bob, who is sending the 1N34A diodes to make my collection enough to have supply for 10 boards and 10 kits. And once I get those, I can go ahead and sell these things, mail them out, and hopefully people won't have any big problems putting them together. They're pretty simple. I think anybody that's seen the instructions should know that. So I think that's about it. Mainly just wanted to bring you back show you for this. Again, that's how that, you can see on the bottom. I never showed you the bottom view before, so you can see that. There's how that slides around. You can see it's on these are kind of a brass wheel. Those screws in the back of the, let me show you that too. I've got this on the wrong end. The transformer's up, and that's where the weight's at. There you can see them. These brass screws in here, and they're like kind of like a pulley shape, but they're U-shaped, and they go into this groove here, or channel there. We'll see it in the back there easier, I think. And then there's nuts that fit on there. You can see the back of the brass part there. But that's what makes it, lets that slide. And it slides pretty easy with the brass on the steel. There's no big major hang-ups, and it slides pretty easy. I could put some lubricant if I needed to, but I don't think I'm going to, because 9 times out of 10 when you do that, it messes it up, and I don't really want to mess it up. So, like I said, next thing I want to get the dial string in strung before I put this counterweight or flywheel back on, because I wanted, if I have to move things around, I think it's a lot easier to do that. But it fits right here where that flat spot's at. That's where the flywheel fits. And again, I want to put some not silicone, but synthetic grease that I have in there for that on there, and that should make that well. And once I get that done, I think it's ready to pop off, as they say. Of course, that's when they're talking about car engines. But I don't think there's anything else that I have to, other than put the tubes back in, obviously, and maybe do a little low voltage testing on it, make sure there's nothing that I miswired or anything like that. But I don't think there is. I think that's mostly it. Now, I still have not found all the parts yet for this. I'm still missing the top cover, the brass cover, and also I've got I think you can see the end pieces and the front piece here. There's a bottom piece that I'm missing. I don't have that, but I think I have everything else, because that top and these ends make up the complete back section of this. The top itself the brass comes back down in this area here, and there's an opening there, I guess, for whatever, but like I said, that's just the way it's made. And so once this is ready to go, I'm going to go ahead and fire it up and see if it works, and make sure that I'm wanting to do this live. I don't know if I'll get to or not, but I want to do this live. I'll do a advertisement for it, promotion or whatever you want to call it, for it well in advance, so everybody will know when it's going to be. But of course I'll have Bob to sit in on it, and he's my eyes and ears, when I'm doing this stuff, and so that works out pretty good. But so I think I'm about ready to fire this thing up, and that'll be kind of exciting. Of course, I won't need my extension for that, because I'm not going to put it back together yet. But so that is that. Very happy the way this is going, and like I said, I've been looking at the AM version of this. Now it's pretty sad shape. This one wasn't in the greatest shape, but it was just mostly dirty. And the one in the AM version is got some evidence of rat droppings and urine and things like that. And there's a lot of rust on it. I think what I'm going to do with it is clean it best I can, and then paint it with that rust reformer that I did on the 970. Oh, by the way, I wanted to tell you, one of those popped up on one of the groups I'm on Facebook, Vintage Electronic Test Gear or whatever it is. Guy has it, and it's just in Indianapolis. I could run up and pick it up. He only wants $50 for it, but I told Bob, I said, I really don't want to waste the gas and the time and stuff like that to run up there, and or the $50 for that matter, because I've got one. Mine works. I know it works. The only part of mine that does not work is that one frequency range, and I don't think it's one I use. So, like I said, of course, the first time I say that, next time I want to use that, it'll be the frequency that I can't get. I have considered rebuilding that coil, and that's going to be difficult to do, but it is not impossible. If I was Don of Restoral Radios, I wouldn't have a hesitation moment to doing that, but I'm not Don. So anyway, like I say, I keep blabbing. Let me get off here so I can get this posted tomorrow and get you a video to watch. And so that's going to do me. It's been a nice day here today. Sunny most of the day. I think it got up to 60, I believe. I think it was actually supposed to be warmer than that, but I don't know if it made it that warm. The sun was out all day. I don't know what the excuse was, but see if I can find the temperature here. Yeah, see, right now it's 53. I only got a high 54 today, so I guess that's not as good as I thought. Maybe I was looking at the wrong thing, but anyway, 54 still not that bad for this time of the year. I'll take it. Again, with sun, you know, I walked out and got the garbage cans in, trash cans, and also walked out and got the mail today. So you know, both time in just shirt sleeves, so wasn't that cold. So happy about that. Always happy when it gets warmer weather, always. So I think that's it. Bob is working still, and I know Bob doesn't make videos anymore, sadly. I wish he would, but he doesn't, and I don't know what to do to get him to. You really can't force people to do something they don't want to do. I learned that early in life, and I try not to even bother him too much about it, but you know, because I figure if it's something he wants to do, he'll do it. And if he don't want to do it, well, you know, the video is going to suffer then because he doesn't really want to do it. So, like I said, I don't know if it's just nerves on his part that he doesn't like to do that or what, but he makes really good videos and they're very informative. And that's the main thing I look at. And the ones I make, I don't have any problem talking to y'all. I mean, because, like I say, it's just, I'm just sitting here talking to a camera. So it is not a big deal to me, but you know, everybody's different. I know I couldn't get up in front of a group. They asked me to say something at my mother's funeral, and I said, no, I don't think so. I don't like crowds, and I don't get up in front of people I don't know and talk. So, you know, and I took F's when it came to speech time in school, so I'm very dedicated to that principle. So, you guys, again, keep blabbing. So you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see ya.